8 signs someone is hiding their depressions. Some people with depressions may try to hide the signs from others, and others might not even realize that they have depressions. Although well-known symptoms such as sadness or helplessness can be easy to recognize, other symptoms may be less obvious. Hidden depressions, also called smiling depressions or concealed depressions, is when someone works hard to conceal their symptoms and show the world that they are okay. They may appear to be high functioning at work in the social situations, but behind closed doors they live with the classic symptoms of depression. Some may hide their symptoms because they don't want their loved ones to worry. Others may feel too embarrassed to ask for help or struggle with perfectionism. Some may also feel guilty or ashamed for struggling to begin with, which are both common emotions that go hand in hand with depressions, according to research. By getting familiar with the hidden signs of depressions, you will be prepared to support your loved ones and help them seek additional resources. Number 1. Sleeping too much or too little. Is your friend or family member talking about how tired they are lately or how they have no energy? Do they have bags under their eyes or show other sign of sleep disturbance? Depression is known to interfere with restful sleep. Research trusted source shows that it can prevent people from falling asleep, staying asleep, or getting out of bed in the morning. It's common for people with depression to sleep less or even more than usual. Number 2. Change in diet and weight fluctuations. Depression may cause a change in appetite, due in part to an influx of the stress hormone cortisol in the system. Some people may have less of a desire to eat, since food no longer tastes good or they are not craving anything in particular. For others, depression can manifest as craving food that release feel-good neurotransmitter. A meal high in sugar will nudge the brain to produce serotonin, also known as a happiness hormone. In the moment, it produces a pleasant sensations, but research now suggests that high sugar diet could make overall depression worse, leading to a tricky cycle. This dietary change can all contribute to weight loss, weight gain, or fluctuations between the two. If you notice a sudden change in someone's overall body compositions, keep an eye out for additional symptoms of hidden depressions. Various research studies, including a 2020 review called Low-Hanging Fruit for Getting Back on Your Feet, have found that the diet contains more fruit, vegetables, fatty fish, and whole grains, along with a fewer sweets, processed food, and dry food can help with depression. Number 3. Drinking more alcohol. Drinking alcohol triggers the release of endorphins, a natural stress and pain reliever. This neurotransmitter is responsible for the same lift-in mood we feel while exercising, having sex, or enjoying good love with friends. Hitting the bar for happy hours is a socially acceptable way to cope with stress, which makes underlying depressions can more difficult to spot. A common sign of hidden depressions is that someone may turn to drinking more often or increasing the amount of alcohol they consume in one sitting. In fact, studies trusted sources suggest that alcohol use disorder is one of the most common co-occurring conditions alongside depressions, more often trusted source impacting women than men. Number 4. Forcing a happy face. In some cases, the bigger the smile, the bigger the depression it hides. Toxic positivity is a buzzword as of late and for good reasons. An overly positive attitude, a perfectly manicured highlight reel on Instagram, or appearing cheerful in public may be a must to cover up what's really going on. If someone dismisses their own sadness or changes the subject, It could mean that they are uncomfortable expressing how they truly feel or they are in denial about their experience. Distinct for something that sounds like, "Yeah, I've been really down lately, but it's okay, I'm fine." Really? How are you doing? If you suspect a friend or family member has hidden depressions, spend more time with them. It's difficult to hold up the mask of happiness all the time, and eventually, little glimpses of their real feelings will poke through. Number 5. Change in language and topics of conversations. Research shows that people with depressions use more I, me, and self-focused words because they are in introspective states most of the time. In addition, they use what are called absolutist terms, like always and never, without a lot of gray area. Depression also has a way of distorting thought patterns, which can lead to a different worldview. It's indicated those with depressions have a more negative outlook. This term for process with an air of pessimism like "I can't" or "I should." You could also hear misplaced guilt like "it's all my fault." Someone you love may hint at suicide or bring up philosophical topics about the meaning of life, what it feels like to die, or the afterlife. Number 6. Crying for help, then taking it back. Those with hidden depressions may struggle with the vulnerability hangover. That is, sharing about what's really going on, only to later feel awkward, guilty, shameful, or generally unpleasant about letting someone get so close. They may reveal dark thoughts and even call a therapist, only to back out of an appointment at the last minute and say, "Never mind, I'm fine." You might notice after sharing trusted sources on social media, which is sharing posts that contain lots of personal information. They might show a pattern of sharing personal details online, then deleting the post soon after. This could be for any number of reasons, from not wanting to be a burden on loved ones or growing up in a culture where feelings were swept under the rug. In any case, it's still a good idea to follow up with your loved one. Let them know that it's okay to be vulnerable and that you still love them, no matter what. Number 7. Displaying intensified feelings. Depression is known to create sudden shift in mood, including increases irritability, sadness, nervousness, tensions, panic, grief, and crying spells. Men are also more likely trusted sources to experience irritability, aggressions, and misplaced anger, while women carry feelings of sadness. Someone with concealed depressions may stray from their baseline of emotions. Maybe they are normally a calm driver, but now they are displaying a road rage in traffic. Or perhaps you have never seen them cry at the movies, but now they are getting teary-eyed at commercial. It can swing in the other direction as well. Maybe your loved one normally laughs out loud at a funny show, but now they seem flat or uninterested. These are all mood changes associated with mass depressions. Number 8. Feeling less optimistic about life. In 1979, scientists found a peculiar phenomenon called depressed realism. Essentially, the theory is that those with depressions have a more realistic view of the world and their role in it, more than their non-depressed counterpart. For someone with hidden depressions, this may come out in conversation as a cynical comment about reality. You might hear something like, "It's not like any of this matters anyway, so who cares?" While it may be true to some degree, it's also deviations from the perspective of non-depressed individuals who have optimist illusions. This means that when they experience something bad, they see it as impermanent or insignificant, or assign a positive meaning to it. In other words, this is the rose-colored glass effect. While more recent studies have supported this theory, additional research is still needed to reach a consensus in the psychology community. Until then, be aware that a sudden change in someone's worldview could point to underlying depression.